I'm standing on a rock,
Mm-hmm.
like a flat platform rock.
Yes. Where is this rock?
Uh, feels like out west somewhere.
Yes.
Like I'm overlooking as if it was a Grand Canyon.
Yes. And on this rock, do you feel like you have a body?
I do.
Yes. Is it male or female body?
Female.
Hmm. Notice the age of this body. Are you young or old? What number shows up?
47.
Very good. And if you knew, what is it that you're doing on this rock?
Just looking at the view.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And this view looks like what?
It's it's a big valley. It looks like the Grand Canyon.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
And notice what you look like there. How are you dressed?
Well, I I I see bare feet,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
but I also see it kind of morph into something that looks like alligator shoes,
Mm-hmm.
pointy toes.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange.
Yes.
I
And
also
well, yes, continue.
I also feel a sense of dampness.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost going from one to the other, like
Yes.
dry and then damp rock. The rock
Yeah.
is damp.
Yes. And why do you imagine that this is happening? Why is it morphing like this? If you knew.
It feels like it's trying to take me there.
Very good. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, allow yourself to be taken. 1, 2, and 3. What's happening now? What do you notice?
I don't I don't feel like I want to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No, it's
Yeah.
scary.
Yes.
I know.
Where are you now?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I just see it just feels like very alien
Yes. Yes.
and scary.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Are you?
Authoritarian.
What is it?
Like an authority figure.
Yes.
Looks very like reptilian and
Yes.
in the arms, I would say, like they like a I want to say grasshopper.
Mm.
Um, but I also feel like there's like this um glass globe over the head,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of looks like a mix of a person, reptilian. I just very strange looking. I've never seen anything like it.
Yes. Is this your body or somebody else's?
Someone else is
All
they're
right.
looking at me.
All right. So take a moment now and connect mind to mind. Who is that?
I feel like he's in charge. He's telling me like telling me to do something that I don't really want to do, I type of a thing.
Yes.
I can't quite place it, but I feel like he's telling me to do something.
All right, let's find out what it is that he wants you to do. What
I'm
is the
not
order?
I'm not really getting anything, but I'm feeling like a physical reaction
Yes, and what is this
in my
physical?
chest.
What is this physical reaction
It
when
just
he
like
tells you to do something?
it's like making it's a stress my
Mm-hmm.
heart pounding.
Your heart is pounding. Very good.
Right now I'm crying.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
I don't necessarily feel like he's specifically telling me anything
Yes.
specific
Yes.
to do. It's just the overall feeling of being I feel scared too.
Yes.
I just feel like I'm freezing.
Very good. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, I want you to continue and see what happens with this reptilian. 1, 2, and 3. What's happening now? Yes.
I feel he's getting bigger and bigger, and I am at the same time like floating away from him.
Yes. What happens when you float
Almost
away?
just I just feel like I'm being pulled away.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And let's see.
What do you imagine is pulling you away from him?
I don't belong there.
Mm-hmm. What is this place where you are?
It feels like outer space somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just feel like I'm like on a planet somewhere with this thing,
Yes.
and I'm just like floating out into space or nothingness. It feels more like space.
Yes. And what happens when you float into space? What happens next?
I feel calmer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Continue.
I kind of feeling like a sense of not necessarily being born, but before being born.
Yes. Yes. Continue.
Like I get like almost like a picture of uh, a fetus, a baby
Yeah.
in a womb, kind of is what
Yes.
I kind of feel.
Yes. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, you'll be inside of that womb and be aware of everything that's happening. 1, 2, and 3. What do you feel inside of this womb?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yes.
I still feel like there's like a section of this thing around
Mm-hmm.
me,
Yes.
almost as if it was wrapped around me.
Yes.
And when I specifically, I feel like it's more like the eye of it, how a
Mm-hmm.
fly's eye or insect eye type of thing. I just feel like that's kind of around me.
Yes. And what is the purpose for this
It's
thing
like
to be around you?
it feels like it's the cocoon.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's gonna open.
Yes. Yes. And what do you
Yeah,
feel?
I'm watching, I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of feels like it's just gonna catapult, it's gonna open and just catapult me out into
Yes. And while you're in this cocoon, what are you feeling in there?
cozy. I feel kind of like I feel like I'm in a fetal position,
Mm-hmm.
cozy.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
What happens next?
it's just strange. It just feels like I'm being like shot out into another uh outer space kind of situation. I don't feel like I'm necessarily on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And as you're being shot out, do you have any type of body? What do you sense?
It's kind of like a mix of what my head and shoulders, and
Mm-hmm.
then the rest of my body just feels almost like it's like a UFO type of a thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
small, but it just feels like almost metallic, and it's like shooting me through.
Very good. Very good. So where is it that you are being shot into?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just describe
I'm
everything
seeing
as you go
okay,
along.
okay. I'm seeing something that looks I kind of say it looks like a planet, like a sandy colored planet. It's
Yes.
not blue, it's more sandy color. Um, I also feel like I'm seeing a um,
Yes.
almost like another type of an alien
Mm-hmm.
head.
Yes.
Uh, like
Where is?
the head part of it is very big, and then the
Yes.
face is kind of small. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like a character of something I may have seen
Yes.
in the past. I'm not doesn't really feel real.
Yes. And where do you see this alien being?
Just to the left of me,
Yes. On this sandy
with
planet?
me. It's just kind of in the background, the
Mm.
planet. Like we're kind of it's very there's no real definite placement
Very
of
good.
anything.
Yes.
Right. Okay. That's kind of how that
Yes.
feels.
Why do you
I just
imagine
feel
that
like
you're
he's in
here?
charge.
Ah, okay, very good. And is it the same one as before?
No, this is like a different version.
Mm-hmm. And when you see this being, what do you sense in yourself?
Mm. Well, it's strange because I feel almost like he's there to help me,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't look like something that would help me.
Mm-hmm.
He looks
Yes.
more dangerous than helpful.
Mm-hmm. Is this a
If that makes
feeling
sense.
or just a judgment?
It's a judgment.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to feel. What do you sense from this being?
Mm. Just still don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives me the creeps,
Yes.
and it still looks very insect like,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
like up close to the
Yes.
face. It looks like these two things, and it just looks like
Mm-hmm.
an insect
Yes.
in this little face, but then it has this big head.
Yes. Does it have
Trying to
a
does that
good
make sense?
color?
Brownish,
Mm-hmm.
rusty, uh, shiny,
Mm-hmm. What does the body look like?
human
Mm-hmm.
with like a
Yes.
robe type of a thing
Yes. Does the robe
that
have
he's
any
wearing.
type of insignia on it or anything?
Mm, it could on the
Mm-hmm.
left shoulder.
Yes.
It could have an insignia there.
What do you
It
imagine
looks
that
like
it is?
I see a circle, and I see like a wave coming off the top of it, like a wave, and then the same thing at the bottom in the opposite direction.
Yes. And if you knew,
Circle.
what does that insignia represent?
Mm,
Just know it.
mm. Some sort of a galactical group.
Yes. And this galactical group that this being represents or is part of, do you feel that it is a benevolent group?
Yes and no.
Tell me about that.
Well, from what I said with the mouth,
Yes.
that's benevolent, doesn't
Yeah.
feel good. But then at the same time, I'm not sure if it's imagination or not, but I
Yeah.
feel like there's like almost like a human coming into the picture that is like of a galactical um, group,
Yes. Yes.
like the next step down from this kind of a creature, but it's a human, like, and he's wearing a uniform.
Yes. Tell me more.
I am. All I see is like the back of him, a
Yes.
little bit of the side of his face, and the uniform looks looks like wool, and it's like a grayish blue.
Very good. And take a moment now to observe yourself. What do you look like there?
Hmm.
Do you have a gender
I'm
there?
just feeling a very well, I feel two things. I feel like me,
Yes.
okay, but I also feel like I have this like an alligator type of feel to me as well. And I've kind of felt that kind of from the beginning. There was a
Yes.
sense of that as well.
Yes.
So that's kind of, it's like a mixture of the two that I'm feeling.
So take a moment and just observe your hands, what they look like. Describe them for me.
Well, if I look down from the position of the the alligator type,
Yes.
they feel very short and
Yes.
very and small. Okay. And
Yes.
if I look at it as if it's me, I feel like it's me sitting here. So I'm
Yes.
still seeing, aware of being consciously here as well as there, I think is what's happening.
Very good. Very good.
Does that make sense?
Yes, so I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, you're going to advance to the next important event that happens to your soul. 1, 2, and 3.
I see a butterfly.
Yes.
Means change,
Mm-hmm.
growth,
Yes.
freedom.
Very good. So when Barbara receives these tones of this butterfly, it brings about change for her.
We're coming change.
The coming changes. So what are the coming changes that are coming for Barbara now as she moves forward? You could put your microphone a little bit higher so I can hear you. What are the changes?
I see a flower that's like a windmill,
Yes.
and it turns.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It seems repetitive.
Mm-hmm. And like a windmill, I want you to notice what that windmill is grinding. What is the product of that windmill as it spins? Yes.
It's not really a windmill. It's more of those toys that you hang up that you put in the wind and they turn.
Yes.
That's what it
Yes.
is. That's what it
Okay.
is.
Very good.
Okay, so it's not grinding anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's going with the flow.
Very good. Yes. So what is the flow that needs to be taken care of as you move forward.
Nurturing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Nurturing myself.
Mm-hmm. What is it that Barbara needs to do with these gifts that she has?
Use them.
Mm-hmm.
Use them.
Yes.
Over and over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. And what has stopped Barbara from moving forward and using them?
The fear.
Mm-hmm.
Being looked at. Judged.
Yes. So I want you to feel that fear of being looked at, being judged. Where do you feel that fear?
Also feel loss.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Where do you feel all of this?
In my stomach.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Solar plexus.
Yeah, so I want you to intensify this fear. This fear of loss, of being looked at and judged. And I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, you'll tell me where this originates from. 1, 2, and 3. What do you feel when you feel this fear? Where are you?
Back with my dad.
Yes.
Walking up the stairs, seeing him sick.
Yes. Yes. Yes, continue. Judging him, yes. Yes.
And I get the fear of having lost him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Having enough compassion.
Mm-hmm.
But I was young.
Yes.
I was young.
Yes. I want you to notice this little Barbara when she was so young. Notice if a little part of Barbara has gone somewhere.
In a closet.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So I want you to go ahead and talk to this little girl. This little Barbara that's been hiding there. Talk to her. You could ask her what she's doing in there.
Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing in there?
Mm-hmm. What does she say?
Hiding from the world.
Mm-hmm. Why does she need to hide from the world?
Because she doesn't want to be embarrassed.
Mm-hmm. What would happen if she's embarrassed?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. So you can tell her that all this time that she's been hiding in this closet, that you've grown up, that you're now 64 years old, you've experienced a lot of things, and that you can now care for her so that she's not embarrassed. Talk to her.
You can come out. Don't be afraid. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yes.
If you're embarrassed, nothing will happen.
Yes, and tell her you've experienced many different things and nothing has happened to you.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
I've experienced a lot. Nothing has happened.
Yes. And what does she need to feel better?
Just guilt.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, ask her what she's feeling guilty about.
Feeling guilty for the way that I felt.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Is there any need to hold on to this guilt for so long?
No.
No. Tell her that.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And notice how this guilt has hurt her. and has kept her in this dark closet for so long? Does she need to punish herself any longer? No, tell her that.
Oh, you don't need to punish yourself any longer. Just let yourself out and be you.
Yes, yes,
Be proud.
very good. So just wrap your arms around this little girl. Give her love. And invite her to come out now into the light.
Okay,
And you could tell her,
he's coming.
yes, tell her she could take that guilt that she has inside. And she could give it to all of those friends that she used to always talk to. Which friend can help her today?
And bring Susan out.
Very good. So ask Susan to come out and take from her all of that guilt. She can ask Susan to extend her arms and have little Barbara put all of that guilt into her hands and take it from her.
She is.
What does Susan
She's
tell?
taking it.
Very good. What does Susan tell little Barbara?
Give it all to me.
Good.
I'll take it.
Very good. Very good.
She feels better.
Wonderful. So now that she feels better,
She's
you can,
smiling.
yes, you can now just wrap your arms around her and allow her to grow up in your arms, getting bigger and bigger. And when this little Barbara is as big as you are, you could just meld her inside of you,
Okay.
knowing that she is safe. But now she could be a little girl again. She could feel free to explore, to have fun, to joke around, to play, to start new things, and that you will protect her. How does that feel to have her inside?
Enlightening.
Very good, very good. So now that she is safe within you, I want you to see yourself now, moving forward. And as you move forward in your time, you could see yourself in front of a lot of people.
Not so scared.
No, and look at their faces. See some of them in awe. See some of them crying with joy and emotion. And feel that feeling of confidence within you.
Okay.
Notice how that feels.
It feels strong, but
Yes.
not the same kind of strong as before.
Yes.
Stronger in a different way.
Yes. And allow yourself to open up more. And notice who is there to help you.
My grandmother.
Very good. What does grandmother say to you today?
She's like, I don't know why you ever felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have felt like that.
Yes. Yes, and now that your heart is flowing more, I want you to notice how the heart feels when you're in front of people now.
Calmer.
Yes.
Steady.
Yes. And as your heart gets even steadier, I want you to go ahead and invite all of those that have been your friends and just put them in the front seat. And notice how many there are.
There's a lot.
Who would like to step forward and give Barbara a message today now that her heart is open and she's more calm? Who's stepping forward?
It's a spirit guide.
Yes.
I feel.
Is this Barbara's spirit guide?
Yeah, one of them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What does the guide say?
It's like I told you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of smiling,
Yes.
almost laughing.
Yes.
Like, I told you, I told you.
Yes. And why is it that Barbara needed to experience all of these heartaches in order to get to where she is now?
It makes her a fuller person.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She needs those experiences.
Does it
to do
allow
what she does.
Does it allow her to connect to people,
Mm-hmm.
having been through this herself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and notice her energy around her. Is there anything that is still connected to her that shouldn't be there?
Yeah, her throat
Mm-hmm.
chakra is this speaking the truth.
Yes. Yes,
It's
when...
hard
Mm-hmm.
to tell other people their truth sometimes.
Yes. But isn't it why people are with her? To hear the truth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she just has a hard time putting it in a nice way.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like,
So who assists her with actually giving her the words to tell others? Is there a particular guide or someone who helps her? Or is she on her own?
it feels, well, she says what she sees or hears or feels.
Yes.
And then I don't know who's helping at the time.
Mm-hmm. Has there been any blockages that have kept her from being a little bit more open?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Notice what that is.
It goes back to the being wrong,
Mm-hmm.
being judged.
Yes.
Kind of all goes back to the same
Yes.
spot.
Mm-hmm. But this little girl is now out of the closet.
Right. So
Yes.
she should not be afraid.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Would it be beneficial to ask for one particular guide to help her with this?
Yes.
Yes. Who would that be?
I would say my grandfather, Bill.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So if Bill would please step forward. Very good. Bill, would you be willing to assist Barbara with
Of course.
this endeavor so that she doesn't get interference, so that she feels that confidence within her?
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. And if there is any interference, if we can make an agreement today to allow your guidance and perhaps the other guides to hold back that interference. Is that possible?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that she needs to do before she speaks with a person, a client, or anyone in which she's giving messages, is there any type of a prayer or ritual that she should do in order to remind her of this assistance?
She does that,
Mm-hmm.
but never specific information like that.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be good to add
Very good.
into
Very
that
good.
prayer.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
Very good. So, when we first started off in this session, there was an authoritarian, reptilian type being. Who is that? Yes.
I'm not getting.
Mm-hmm. Is that something that is interfering with her in this lifetime or other lifetimes? Tap into that.
Is it? It just feels like it's like morphing into my heart.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yes.
head of that
Yes.
being is morphing into my heart.
All right. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. Let me speak with that being. 1, 2, and 3. You there. What are you doing?
Hmm.
What are you doing weaseling into her heart?
Trying to help her.
Oh, you are. She doesn't feel very comfortable with you. How is it that you're helping her?
It's like the detail is like chewing away
Mm-hmm.
at it.
What detail
So
is chewing away at it? Be more specific.
the there's a specific spot. It just feels like the little teeth or the
Mm-hmm.
the little things. You
Yes.
can see my hand, right?
Yes.
Are like digging in,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
but that's not helping.
Yes. So I want you to go ahead and speak to this being and tell it what you
Just
think about it.
I
Yes.
think it needs to leave me alone and go
Well, tell
away.
it. Tell it to leave you alone. Tell it that
Leave.
you did not give any authority for it to be there.
I didn't give you any authority to be in my heart or anywhere near me. So stay away. Keep away from me. I don't want you near me ever again.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to go ahead and ask, in fact, demand that this being give you back the energy that it's been chewing away at. Go ahead and demand that it give you back that energy.
I demand you give back my energy that you've been chewing away at. I demand it.
Mm-hmm. Give it to me now.
Give it to me now.
Take it back. And notice what's happening.
It's fading off.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
It's like power over me is done.
Very good. And notice the feeling that you feel.
I feel more relaxed,
Yes.
less tension
Yes.
in my heart.
Very good. And as you feel this less tension, I want to take you back to that place where you were with this being. And I want you to notice the difference now.
It's like he's afraid of me.
Yes. Expand. Expand even more. Show your power.
Just push him back.
Yes. Yes.
Build up that wall.
Very good. And you can explain. You cannot do anything to me any longer.
You can no longer hurt me or do anything to me.
Yes. You have no power over me.
You have no power over me.
You have no power over anyone that I love.
And you have no power over anyone that I love.
You are forbidden.
You're forbidden
to be in my life
to be
any
in
longer.
my life any longer.
Very good. Notice what happens.
Just backing away, floating back.
Very good. Very good.
Into the abyss.
Very good. Now you can go to the next place, that sandy planet, and notice what happens now.
I'm alone.
Yes.
I see ears.
Yes.
Which tells me to listen more carefully.
Very good. What else?
I have more energy. I'll have more energy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I see a wind-up toy, that I'm a wind-up toy, like an energizer.
Yes.
I see the wind-up thing in my back, where I
Very
can just turn it.
Very good. Very good.
Mm.
And I want you to go ahead and scan all of the different lifetimes that you're living in which have been affected by this. And notice how your soul has changed.
Feeling like a Viking.
Very good.
Very strong.
Yes.
Angry. There's anger there.
Where is this anger coming from?
I don't know.
Let's find out. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, let's find the origin of that anger. 1, 2, and 3. Where are you?
It feels like anger of taking someone from me a
Mm-hmm.
long time ago.
Yes.
In another life.
Yes.
Anger that this woman was taken from me.
Yes.
I feel like I'm a man.
Yes.
And the pain.
Yes. And I want you to imagine this woman in front of you, the one that was taken from you. And look at her eyes. Have you seen those eyes before? Do they seem familiar to you?
Hang on a minute. Yeah.
Yes. What would you like to tell her?
That I love her and care about her.
Yes.
And she's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even though she's passing, she's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She looks helpless.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and notice if you've made any vows or promises to her.
I feel like she was my wife.
Mm-hmm. Is there? Yes. What would you like to replace that anger with?
Joy.
Very good. Pick a color that represents joy to you.
Pink.
Beautiful. I'm going to sound the tuning fork, and I want you to feel that joy flooding in now. Just breathe it in. Fill that space where all that anger was before with this pink joy. And when it's totally full, just allow it to flow into the rest of your body. Feeling that joy going into all of your organs, all of your bones. That's it. Very good. Very good. And now let's talk about one thing that is holding back Barbara. That fear of people throwing up. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. And we're going to find the origin of that. 1. Feeling that feeling inside your stomach, that fear. 2 and 3. Where are you?
I'm in a dream, a recurring dream.
Yes.
I'm in a bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
like a public bathroom,
Yes.
and the toilets overflow, and I have no shoes on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's where it takes me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I can't move. I can't get out of there because I have no shoes on, and I'm barefoot in sewage. And
Mm-hmm. Yes. And notice in which lifetime this is. Where are you when this is happening? Where do you go?
It feels like this lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Notice this public bathroom. What does that represent?
Being in public.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Being embarrassed in public.
Yes. And notice the toilet overflowing. What does the toilet overflowing represent?
People's objections.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
And my fear of I want their acceptance.
Yes.
And it's causing me fear that they're not accepting me.
Yes, and notice why it is that you're not wearing shoes.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What would happen if you were wearing shoes?
I'd be protected.
Mm-hmm. What would happen if you were wearing boots? Mm-hmm.
I'd be able to fix it.
Very good. So I want you to go ahead and put on some really thick rubber galoshes to come all the way up to your knees. And find that plunger. What happens?
It's not the plunger.
What is
It's the water.
It's the water.
I have to stop the water.
All right. Where do you stop the water?
At the source.
Very good.
At the handle.
Yes, go ahead.
Turn it.
Turn it.
You turn it. I want to turn it off.
Yes. What happens?
It stops.
Very good. Very good. So what do you want to do next?
Get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So as you get out of this public toilet, imagine yourself walking out into a big stage.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a chair in the center of the stage. And you could take off your boots while you tell everybody about your experience. And everyone laughs. And you notice that they like you now. You've broken the ice with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you grab your shoes that are sitting alongside. And you can now feel the connection of your grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And you look out and you see in the front row all of your guides smiling.
Mm-hmm.
And feel that feeling of
And they're
confidence.
applauding.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
very good. And with that, is there anything else that we need to address, or do you feel that we are complete?
It feels complete.
Very good. 5 wide awake, completely alert, feeling wonderful all over. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Well, that was interesting.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. Are you there? Oh.
Wow. How does your body feel?
Oh, I feel good. I feel good. Oh, can I, oh,
Yeah, go ahead and click on whatever you need to click on
okay,
there.
okay, there, yeah. Hi.
You did great.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It all kind of came back to the same point over and over, didn't it? That's very interesting.
Yep. Yep.
It was very interesting.
Sure did. You feeling more confident now?
I will, yeah. I do, but when I work, I think I will. I'll have that to look back on,
Well, that's the most important thing is for you to feel confident doing your work and your grandfather stepped forward and said, "Okay."
He'll be there, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't normally see him in my readings. He doesn't normally come through. So
Interesting.
yeah, so but my grandmother does. So he's just kind of like the backup, I guess. But
Well, he stepped forward and ahead of her this time.
yeah, yeah. I mean in the readings, he's the backup. He'll be the backup, to
Yeah.
make sure that I speak what I'm supposed to say. Because there's times when I haven't and I should have said what I said, what I
Yeah.
thought, like I didn't translate it properly, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to say it, you know what I mean? So,
Wow.
yeah.
So, do you want to share any part of this session?
It's up to you,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
there's
know.
some stuff that's personal that I would not include,
Yeah.
but I thought, the part where with this reptilian
Yeah.
guy who was,
What was that? That was bizarre.
well, you were being influenced, not only in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes.
Is that what that means, you think?
Yeah, yeah. But look what happened. You finally
Let it go. Yeah.
let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very strange. Yeah, that was weird, that whole part. Because I don't know, I'm not like, you know, I know about all the galactic stuff,
yeah,
but I'm not a real, into that. And I never felt like
yeah,
I came from the stars. I know when I look at myself in pictures, I feel like I'm, like more of a galactic being, like a star person or something.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have some pictures that I see that. But other than that, nothing really. Where I
yeah.
have some friends that are really into it.
It doesn't. You don't have to be into it, but you could tell that in those two different scenarios, you were feeling very afraid.
I was, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely not good.
Yeah, and it's almost like that same fear was coming through in other parts of your life in this lifetime.
Right. Yeah, which I'll have to listen to it again to remember all of it.
Yeah.
But
I would imagine you can connect the dots because there are people in your life that have been kind of authoritarian,
mhm.
and it has done the same thing to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, make me just
So
like shit.
so as you shift your energy, all of that influences the past, present, and future.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. So, tell everybody where you are and what you do.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I am in New Jersey and I'm a photo stylist and a medium. and I love my work, both kinds,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope to keep doing it for the mediumship for a long time.
So how is it that you do the mediumship? Do you do it on online or do you do it
I
in
do.
person?
Yeah, I do it online, and I have and I do it sorry. I do it on I can do Zoom, I can do phone, and I can do it in person as well.
Fabulous. So how do
Yeah.
people get a hold of you for them to get a reading with you?
My website is barbarashug.com slash forward slash medium.
Okay.
And that's my website. And I'm also on the best psychic directory.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
so you can go on there and find me.
So when someone comes to you, you specialize in connecting them with loved ones. Is that what you do?
Yeah, right,
Okay.
right. The
So the
spirit world.
grieving process, when you grieve for someone, you want to get in touch with them and get messages from them. That's what you do is you provide
Right.
messages.
And yeah, and prove that life does go on, that I'm an
Fantastic.
evidential medium. Life goes on, you know.
Fabulous. And you have all of that on your website?
Mhm. Yeah,
Fantastic.
I
Fantastic.
do.
So, yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching. We did cut out some of the personal things here because I don't share issues that have to do with the people's personal lives. But I hope you did enjoy this. And if you want a session with me, just go to my website, albaweinman.com. Sign up for the newsletter. It comes out once a month. And like Barbara slipped in on a cancellation. So when I have a cancellation, it pops right back on the calendar. And
Okay.
she kind of surprised me because all of a sudden somebody had canceled and her appointment request came on. And that's how it works. I don't have a waiting list, but that's how it works. So thank you for watching. Until the next video, much love to you. Bye bye.